The following is a presentation of the Black Hollywood Live Network, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. Hollywood Redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is Black Hollywood Live, Phenomenal Women, featuring in-depth interviews with today's most inspiring women. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood Redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host of Black Hollywood Live, Phenomenal Women.
So I love me some Whitney Houston.
Y'all, who doesn't?
Right now, right? Welcome to Black Hollywood Live's Phenomenal Women, and we have a very special guest with us today. We have Vanessa Bell Calloway, who is an absolute phenomenal woman, and I'm just so glad that she's here. We have a special episode for Mother's Day, and the reason why we chose Vanessa is because she is doing everything in the entertainment industry. She is known for Coming to America, What's Love Got to Do with It. She also has 8 NAACP Image Award nominations, and most of all, she's a mom. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for that wonderful introduction. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I want to show a picture here because this is what fabulous, grown, and sexy is for Mother's Day, and I am loving it.
Oh, yes,
I'm
girl.
loving it. I'm loving it.
And that was just last year, by the way.
That was just last.
That's right before I cut my hair.
And so this is what I strive to be. Because I'm not a mom, but I'm sitting here thinking like, wow, she is stunning. And you're a mom, you're a wife, and you are doing it all. How do you manage career? How do you balance career and motherhood?
Well, it's lucky now. I'm lucky now because the kids are older. But when they were little, the one thing I learned very early on as a mother and a wife is to take my cape off from time to time. And I tell a lot of young women that it's okay, take your cape off. We don't have to be superwoman all the time, and ask for help. And if somebody says, hey, would you like me to do da-da-da for you? Say yes if you really need the help.
Right.
It's okay. It doesn't make you look bad. It doesn't make you look weak. It doesn't make you, look lazy. It just means that you are smart enough to know that when you need help, get the help. I mean, really, seriously, I had to learn that very early on because I was trying to do everything. And I didn't want anybody to touch my children. I didn't want anybody to touch my house. I didn't want anybody to touch my, it's like,
Right.
I thought that was going to be a direct reflection on me. And I learned that you got to take your cape off because when you calm and when you can focus, then the house is in a better situation. You've heard the saying, mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, the house ain't happy.
Right.
Well, it's true. So if you're all scattered and crazy, then that's the kids get scattered and crazy. Your husband, he don't know what the heck going on with you, So I just learned how to just kind of relax, realize that I had a great village already in place. And for those of you who don't have a great village in place, find your village within your neighborhood, within your schools, with the moms and your churches. Make your village.
Right.
So I had a village already in place, and I was able just to relax and utilize those people. And another thing I learned, and I learned this during my wedding, let everybody do what they do best. And when you take that and you move it into your marriage and your home, let your husband do what he does best. Don't micromanage every little thing.
Now that is some good advice.
Oh, really?
That's really good advice.
I learned that during my wedding because, once again, I'm a control freak sometimes.
Right.
I used to be. I'm a lot better than I used to be. And I wanted every little detail of my wedding, But then I realized I wasn't the only one getting married. My husband was getting married, and he too had family that loved him. My father-in-law loves to do party planning like I do. He and I have that in common. We love to cook, and he and I can give a party, honey, like nobody's business.
Right.
And we cater it ourselves. It could be 300-400 people. We'll do everything. I'll decorate. But he wanted to do the reception. So I said, dummy, let him do the reception.
Yeah.
So he did the reception. My mother-in-law, she wanted to do the rehearsal dinner. I said, let her do the rehearsal dinner. My mother is a dressmaker. She wanted to have her hand on what everybody was wearing. I said, okay, Mom. And then I chose what I wanted. I wanted the ceremony and like my bridal luncheon. So I chose what I wanted, and I threw the rest up for grabs. And it was the smartest thing I ever did, brides to be, I'm telling you.
Yes, and that's some good advice because wedding season is upon us. So that is some great advice.
Yeah, so I did that, and then I carried that into my marriage. I let everybody do what they do best. So when my mother-in-law or my father-in-law wanted to do something with the kids, okay.
Now, would you say that is a good tip to have a successful marriage?
Oh, definitely. You can't micromanage everything.
Right.
And, most men are taught to deal with us. Right. I mean, let's just be real.
Right.
We all,
Right. I love it.
we all have a little something to do.
Right.
And we know that about ourselves. And most men are taught to deal with us, but any man can be pushed to his limits. So after a while, he gonna get sick of you trying to tell him how to do everything.
Exactly.
And always coming behind him, changing or fixing. So you have to learn how to just, whatever, I do the things that are important to me, that's what I care about. And then I've learned how to, the other things, just kind of like delegate them out. And a good delegator, you don't micromanage. Mm-hmm. You trust that the people will follow through. Like if you're the president of an organization,
right,
or if you're the president of a CEO of a company, you've got to learn how to delegate. That's what a good leader does. That's what I've been teaching my daughters. A good leader knows how to delegate and knows how to just, and then you know how to make your employees feel good about the work that they have contributed.
Right.
So you do that with your husband. You tell your husband, honey, I thank you. Say thank you a lot.
Yes.
Kiss him. Tell him you appreciate that. And even if you hate the way he did it, just live with it. Because unless it's like really going to change something dramatic in your house, it's okay. But let him know that, you appreciate his effort and the time that he put into it. Because after all, it took away from something that you had to do.
Right.
That's one less thing you had to do.
That is so true. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it.
I'm not going to even charge you for that.
I know, right? Now, speaking of party planning, speaking of, doing fabulous stuff for your family and friends, you have a web series
called In the Company of Friends.
Yes. Tell us about this.
Well, if you will recall, about 8 years ago, the lifestyle was really big. G. Garvin had his fabulous show, and I am a gourmet cook. I've been taking lessons since my daughter, who's almost 24, since she was like a couple of years old, because I got tired of making chicken 1,000 ways. Right. And I always loved cooking. So I started going to school at night, just the new school of cooking over there in Culver City.
In addition to working. Okay. And being a mom.
But it's just like, classes. Like I would sign up for the cooking classes and, and I did it for like, about 10 years or better,
wow.
And it wasn't like every week, but they would have like a session come out and then I'd sign up for those classes. So anyway, I wanted to do something that combined my love for cooking and entertaining. And I said, well, what can I do? So I did a show. I shot my own pilot. I shot 2 different pilots actually with 2 different mindsets. And then I shopped it and TV One loved it. And then they had me combine the 2. And then they gave me money to reshoot it. And it was called In the Company of Friends. So I reshot it. And it aired on TV One as a special. Now, this was about 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. So here it is. It's airing as a special on TV One. Well, they had the first right of refusal, obviously. They passed on it, and 6 months later, it came back to me. I sat on it for several years, and I kept thinking, this is before, like, the internet was just starting to do programming. Mm-hmm. I said, what? I should make this into a web series. Then you get lazy, and then you start working, and then you get depressed because the few people you pitch it to, they turn you down. Right. So you go through all these things, and before you look up, several years have gone by. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened to me. So about almost 2 years ago, I said, you know what? It. Right. And I took,
Right.
Yeah.
I got it. Right.
You got what
I got what you're saying.
So I took the money I was making on Shameless. Uh-huh. And I had been doing another show called, was it Go On? I think it was. And I took the money and I called my producing partner, who I had hooked up with because she saw my product and loved it and wanted to be a part of trying to make this happen on the internet. And the year prior to, she had been going out trying to secure some money. And she just couldn't get any money because people weren't really giving sponsorships that much yet because they didn't know the return. So although we had the idea and we had the original show to show them that actually aired and the star power behind it, they were like, So she spent a year trying to get money, no money. So I said, forget it. I'm going to take my money and I'm going to shoot it. But the funny thing was I said, but we got to shoot fast because I don't know how much longer this money going to last in the bank. Because, when you got money in the bank, if you wait too long, you look up 3-4 weeks later, it's depleted, depleted. So in 2 weeks, we pulled together this cast and we shot in one day. And we shot 2 seasons. And I always tell everybody, although I love everybody who came for the dinner party, you have Sally Richardson Whitfield, DeAndre Whitfield, you have Don P. Welch, my brother who's a playwright, you have Whitney Raquel Robinson, Vanessa Williams, Sean Chapman Holly, who is the attorney to all the stars, all the Little Confused Girls, Lindsay Lohan and Amanda Bynes, all those people, and my husband. So you have, they showed up because they were available. Not that I don't love them, but if you are on my show, it's because you were the person that said yes.
Oh, wow.
I asked a ton of people because I'm shooting one day. It was on a Sunday. So, I'm out of town. Oh, I would love to, but I got this to do. I got that. So you have to go through a lot of people to get at least one or two people to say yes. So these are the people that said, sure, I'll come. That's why they're on the show.
And actually, we have a clip. We're going to have a clip to show our audience.
And I paid them, too. I want you to know.
Oh, right.
Facebook and the Instagram and the email,
I am against
all this stuff.
All of it.
What?
No.
Well, and you should be, because this is what I'm going to ask you. I always tell my kids, before you push send, think about it.
Absolutely.
Oh, pray about it. Before
Absolutely.
you push send.
Yes.
Have you ever Twittered or Facebooked or emailed something that you so regretted the next day or the moment after?
I have not, because I don't have Facebook and I don't have Twitter. And I don't understand.
Now, how do you come up with these topics? Because I love that topic.
Well, the whole show came up with the idea because as entertainers, and it wouldn't only be entertainers, when I get really going, it'll be other people, just prominent people. But we don't get asked regular questions like that. Like, I'm on your show right now. I'm getting a chance to talk about me. I've talked about my wedding. I'm talking about, we don't get that. We get, oh, I'm doing this show, I'm doing that show, and come see my movie, and da-da-da, boom. Okay, next here's Mary.
Right.
You get 5 seconds on somebody's show, and then you're booted out. And I always said, who are you? Well, what do I like? What don't I like? Did you go to your prom? I have a blog talk radio show, and that's a question I ask people. Did you go to your prom?
Right.
How was your prom?
Right.
Because it's like you don't get a chance to talk about you, your memories, things that you would or would not do. So these subjects came up because they're just questions that I had for people, or if I'm thinking it, you must be thinking it. Or if I did it, I bet you did it. I love the one when I ask people, when did they choke? Because that's something people don't ask you when you go, when have you really messed up?
Right.
We see you in all your fabulousness, but when have you really bit the bullet? You sucked.
Right.
When's the last time you really sucked?
Now, is there a topic that's not open for discussion, or do you just leave it just open to any topic?
Well, what happens is the conversation kind of drifts, and as the host, I have to sometimes reel it back to stay on point. But no, I don't know. I've only done 2 seasons, but I imagine that, depending on the group of people, depending on how much wine they've had, because we're really eating and drinking. So it depends on if they drinking vodka or wine. So let's just be real. Because you sit there, it's like they forget they're on camera. And you're a fly on the wall in my house at a dinner party.
But that's better, though, because it's natural.
It's natural.
Yeah.
And we don't go back and take 2. The cameras, once they start rolling, we are going in real time. Now, we may cut because we get to a point, but I don't go backwards and redo.
Oh, okay.
So see, the cameras have to be set. They have to follow people. It is what it is. And then I go to the next question.
I love it.
So you don't get a chance to I know one time, we were doing something, we were talking about something, and Wendy was like, can I change my answer? Because everybody said, she went first, and everybody was, I'm going to do this. And I guess it just, it just got better and better. And then she felt like this much, like, I want to change my answer.
And when you said no.
No, we said no, Wendy.
Oh, okay.
So it's in real time.
I love that. And it's different. It's creative. It's naturally them. They get to be themselves.
Right.
And as fans, we get to see them in their true light.
Exactly.
And get to see who they really are.
And you get to see people interact, because the thing too is, I call my friends first, obviously. And that doesn't mean they have to all be friends of 1,000 years. New friends. I mean, if I meet you, you're my friend now.
Right.
We're besties now, right?
Hey.
You know that, right?
Right,
Okay.
yeah.
So once I meet you, you're my friend.
Right.
So
right.
it's people that you know.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't, so you're seeing these people interact with each other. And sometimes we have a long history with each other. So we can laugh and cut up and bring up, yeah, you remember you did it, and people love that. They love to see the human quality, the human side of people.
I'm loving it. And, it is called In the Company
of Friends, and it's at www.inthecompanyofriends.tv. And season 2 is going to be starting in June, and that's a ladies' tea. Now, this was a who? This was Loretta Devine, Vivica Fox, Shanola Hampton, who plays my daughter on Shameless, Nicole Galicia from Django Unchained, Edwina Finley, who's on Treme, and Robbie Reed, the casting director, BET exec. So that's just all ladies, and we're just having our mimosas and eating our finger sandwiches and fruits and stuff.
And you actually decorate everything yourself.
Yeah, decorate. Well, actually, this time I brought my florist, and I said, girl, I do flower arrangements. But, I had to get some help. I'm like,
Right.
And you just...
Right.
Lord Jesus. But anyway. And I've been on film. I've gotten an award at film festivals.
Yes.
I've been in 3 film festivals. I'm waiting to hear if I got in the ABFF. So I'll know about that soon. But I actually won best... web series for, what was it, travel, talk show, and the best theme song.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
And in addition...
For the LA Web Fest.
In addition to this, you have something else that you are working on at the
I have something else.
Yes.
Well, let me put, before we go there.
Okay.
Also, I want people to know that you can access my blog talk radio,
Yes.
That's So Very Vanessa, from www.inthecompanyofriends.tv. And I have like about 83 archival interviews that you can just get on demand. I mean, some of everybody, and a lot of regular people, which is great. You know, it's like regular topics, but a lot of celebrities. And so that's been a lot of fun too.
I'm loving it because you're showing us what a phenomenal woman is as a mother, as a wife, and as someone who's in charge of her career. Because you're doing a web series, then you also have a blog talk radio, and in addition to that, you're doing a play.
Right.
Tell us about the play.
Well, I come from theater. I'm a New York actress. I came out of New York, and I did Broadway. I've been on Broadway twice in musicals, but nonetheless, I was there.
Right.
And off Broadway, and I did theater as a child growing up in Cleveland, Ohio, at the Caribbean House. So theater's a big part of me. And when I'm not, on TV or doing a movie or something, it's my belief that you've got to stay oiled. It's like you got to keep your car tuned.
Right.
You got to go get get the transmission changed and the oil changed and the fluids up. Well, you should do that to your body too, to your instrument. My instrument, the way I work is with my body, So I like to stay busy, so I do a play. I have been blessed. When I tell you this play is incredibly beautiful and what a blessing it is, it's called Letters from Zora, about the prolific Zora Neale Hurston, in her own words. Letter from Zora in her own words. She wrote over 1,000 letters before she left this earth. So this piece not only chronicles her life, but it also brings in some of these letters that she wrote to like Langston Hughes. They were best of friends and they had a huge falling out. Well, you'll find out why. And County Cullen, a lot of the whole Harlem Renaissance crew that she hung out with, up till her death in 1960, and she died very poor and alone. And it's just about her writings, and she was a woman ahead of her time. She was that woman. She traveled. She didn't have children. She was married several times, but couldn't stay married because back then, they wanted you to sit down, have babies, and shut up. And she's like, oh no, no. She was very outspoken, and she believed in work, and she just couldn't deal with the criticism that she got from like the Richard Wrights and all the male writers back then, the upper crust men, because they felt like, the new Negro. And she was criticized about her belief, her views of segregation. It's not that she felt that we should be segregated. It's just that she came from all black town, Eatonville in Florida. So growing up, she was the mayor's daughter. Wow. As just like Janie in Their Eyes Were Watching God, that's in Eatonville. She sets a lot of things in Eatonville because she really did grow up in an all-black town. Her father was mayor. So it's like, she has written, and I state in the piece, how can anyone deny themselves the pleasure of my company is beyond me. So she really did not understand when she got out into the world what the big deal was. Why are you tripping? Right. You white, okay?
Right.
She wrote a letter to Douglas Gilbert basically telling him, to Gilbert Douglas, basically saying, white folks have no more desire to associate with whites as whites have to associate with them.
Right.
So she's like, you don't want to be bothered with me? I'm good with right here.
Right.
So she was misunderstood, but it's a beautifully written piece by Gabriel Pina at the Pasadena Playhouse. It opens this Saturday, May 10th, and it goes through Sunday, May 18th, 8 performances only. And when I tell you it's been a gift, this girl wrote this piece. It's like poetry. I've never in my life been so excited when I wake up and I know I got to go to rehearsal or performance to say the words, because the words coming out is just like, oh my God. I have to calm myself down because I know that, okay, the audience got to understand what I'm saying, because I know what's beautiful that's on its way out my mouth. Right. And I get excited about what I ain't even said yet.
Right.
I mean, really, it's just
I can't wait to
so
check it out.
beautiful. And the reviews have been great, if I must say. So anyway,
Pat on the back. Pat on the back.
well, yeah, I ain't patting yet because I got to get that LA Times.
Right, right.
review. So I'm like this. Pray for me, y'all. Pray for me, Jesus.
So, what else do you have going on? You have so much. Is there anything else? Did we miss anything?
And then, all right.
Right.
Well, just being a wife and a mother,
Right.
you know, I'm having fun now because my daughters are 23 and 19. They'll be 24 and 20 this year. My baby's going to be 20.
Oh.
Can't believe that. I just seem like I just had that child. But, you know, it's about me.
Absolutely.
You know, and I love them to death.
Right.
And, you know, don't get me wrong. But I've let everybody know it's my time. I have educated people. I have wiped their nose. I've wiped their butts. I've tied their shoes. If I had a nickel for every pizza mom, dance mom, cheer mom, drill team mom, track mom, you know, I've been. And if I had a dime for every dance recital, every play, every this I've been to. You know, I really took mothering very seriously, and I still do. But when they were young, I moved mountains for those girls. They got everything from piano lessons to, they're both incredible dancers. I'm a dancer by trade, and I gave them the gift of my art. You know, I introduced them to dancing, and they're both incredible, incredibly beautiful dancers. So I mean, I gave them 110%, no holds bar. They were always clean. They had what they needed.
Always clean. That's you got to say that's funny.
You girl, you ain't been
Always
inside
clean.
school. So you obviously don't have children.
I do not. And that,
You have not been inside elementary school.
I have not.
Okay.
And I'm like, what?
Even the ones where people pay a lot of money to send their kids
Really?
to don't mean that the kids are always clean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, you'd be like, just, ooh, baby.
Right.
Did you take a bath last night? You know? So, I mean, but I gave them 110%. And so I don't have any regrets. And I tell them, I said, you know what, if y'all ever get on the couch, don't bring my name up. If you do, say, she loved me so much, she cared what I was doing, she cared about my friends. I can't stand her because she just loved me so much, it just made me mad. Because I never abandoned you, I never abused you, I didn't cheat on you, you know.
Right.
So you can,
And it's showing now because they're doing well.
they're doing very well.
Yes.
They're doing very well. And it's funny because now my 23, almost 24-year-old, now that she's been living on her own and she just has a roommate and things aren't going very well. And, you know, now I get these calls and she says, Mom, I see what you mean now. I get it now. I said, You know, because now when you have your little stuff and you want your little stuff a certain way,
Right.
all of a sudden it's an issue. But when you was with my house,
Right.
I was tripping.
That learning curve.
Hello.
The learning curve.
You go like this. Just like when my little one started driving, she was complaining because she all of a sudden became the pickup one for all the girlfriends. And she came home mad. And they just expect me to do this and don't nobody want to give me gas money and I'm picking up it. And I looked at her, I was like, oh, really? Oh. Are you tired of picking up everybody and dropping them off? Oh, really?
Right.
Oh, now you see how mommy feels. You know, so they have to live through their little things and they get it, but they're growing up beautifully.
Oh,
I think the world of my
congratulations.
girls.
That's so wonderful.
And they got a great father. I haven't talked about him at all.
Well, you talked about him a little bit.
Okay, because
you want to talk about him?
He's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
I just don't want to feel like I just didn't mention him. Okay.
You spoke about him a little bit.
TC.
Right.
What up?
So do you have plans for Mother's Day? It's
Yes,
coming up
well,
on Sunday.
I'm excited and I'm disappointed. I'm excited because that's the official opening of Letters from Zora. So, of course, my husband, my mother, and my dad, my husband's parents, who I adore, they're like my family too, my parents too. I call them mom and dad. My daughter, you know, but my baby won't be here. My little mama, she won't be here. She's going to see the closing. So I'm happy that it's, you know, Mother's Day, and even my daughter's boyfriend's going to be there, you know. So it's going to be a great family event for the family that's in town. But it would be perfect if my little baby was there. But she's staying at school at Spelman.
Oh, okay.
Because it's senior week. I said, you ain't no senior. She just went over my sorority, AKA, so she's staying to party with all the sorors who are graduating. I'm like, but you're not no senior.
Did they both pledge? AKA?
Yes, they're both
Okay.
my sorors, yes. That was something
That's special.
Well, you know what? Some people don't get Greek life. Either you get it or you don't. And I don't care if you don't get it because I get it. For
Right.
us.
I wish I would have pledged.
Yeah,
but I
and it
didn't.
was so special to pin both of my daughters with their grandmothers, my husband's mother's pen that was over 60 years old.
Oh, wow.
When my oldest daughter went over about 4 or 5 years ago, we went down there, and Star Jones is my best friend, and she's like both godmothers to both of them. Star and I and my mother-in-law and another friend, we went down and we pinned Ashley with my mother's pen, my mother-in-law's pen that was over 60-year-old, then. Mm-hmm. Fast forward now to this last month, March 30th, we all go down again. And this time her big sister pinned her with her grandmother's pen that's even older, but is over 60 years old. And that my 87-year-old mother-in-law, their grandmother could take that trip down to Atlanta. It was so special. I cannot tell you. And I have pictures of her and she is just smiling. And I said, I just hope that they understand it was just an incredibly beautiful day. It warmed up in Atlanta for us that day, and it was just, the whole day was just incredibly beautiful.
That's wonderful.
And I hope that they understand, just not only the significance of the legacy and the pinning, but that their 87-year-old grandmother lived to see both of her granddaughters, her only grandchildren, join her sorority. It was very special. Yeah, it really was.
Now,
we tell my son about that.
Now, speaking of pledging, did they call you during Hell Week to get some insight?
Well, now I can't, we don't pledge anymore. We have intake service.
Oh, okay.
Right, sorors? We don't pledge anymore. It's intake.
Did they call you to give a little heads up, like, Mom, I need some advice?
Oh, yeah, when you intake, everything is done by the book, so you don't need advice.
Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Vanessa Bell Calloway, for being on the show for our special Mother's Day tribute here at Black Hollywood Live's Phenomenal Women. We really enjoyed you.
Thank you for having me.
And I love just the back and forth conversation we had. You shared with us so much. And we really get to get an insight, and your fans as well get to get an insight into you and your life.
My fans think I'm crazy. I want to wish all the mothers a happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Thanks again for watching our very special Mother's Day for Black Hollywood Live's Phenomenal Women. I'm your host, Ashida Onrae. You can find me on Twitter at Ashida Onrae, and you can find Vanessa Bell Calloway at Nessa B. Calloway. At Nessa B. Calloway.
And please tell them to like, subscribe, and share in the www.inthecompanyofriends.tv.
There it is.
Please help me out.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host owner and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.
Thanks for watching Black Hollywood Live on YouTube. For more in-depth interviews and news, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion in the comment section below here. See you soon, everyone. Bye.